Hey there, YouTube land, and today is a quick update. I went to Costco and got something that completed a collection of mine, so we're going to look at it and we're going to open it up and check it out a little bit more. And got to say, I had a great time today. I went to see my friend who was in from New Orleans, my best friend from high school, and it was really cool to connect with him again. So, what did I pick up? Well, I completed a collection, which I'm always proud when I complete a collection. And the first one was one that I already had, but the box itself was beaten up so badly that I decided, for the price it was, I'd grab a new set and pick it up. And that, of course, is Charlie Chan, Volume 2, Warner Roland. It was a great Charlie Chan. This one has, have you watched my reviews? And I hope you did watch my Charlie Chan reviews. I spent a lot of time doing those, and I may do reviews on the other Chan movies. I didn't get the amount of views that I wanted originally, actually, for the first one of the first Charlie Chan movies, so I was kind of disappointed. But I may, just for the fun, because I like doing them, review the movies. So this one here at Charlie Chan Circus, which is a great film and would have future Chan actor in it. Oh God, I'm gonna forget his name right now. But well, no one opened this up because we'll see the names then. Charlie Chan the Opera, of course, which has Boris Karloff in a great role. We have Charlie Chan at the Racetrack, which is a really good film, and Charlie Chan at the Olympics. And if you remember my review, I gave that one like the highest rating I could of the Chan films because it really showed the depth of Chan. So we're going to look at the features that are on all these in a minute too as well. I also got Charlie Chan Volume 3, the third Warner Roland one. It has the Black Camel, which of course has Bela Lugosi, Robert Young. His first film was actually in this one here. And of course it has the great character actor Dwight Frye. And if you're not familiar with Dwight Frye, you really should be. He's a fantastic actor. We got Charlie Chan on Broadway, Charlie Chan's Secret, and Charlie Chan at Monte Carlo. I think one of these here also stars Rita Hayworth as well, so it's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure Ray Milland as well. So we're going to look at those in a little bit more. We'll look at the features that are on them. And I have, of course, Volume 1. So as I already had Volume 4 and 5, and I even had Volume 2, but it was beaten up. So now I got them all in great condition. Charlie Chan in London is on this one, and as is Charlie Chan in Paris, Charlie Chan in Egypt, and Charlie Chan in Shanghai. Those were more the, like, they put a lot of money and work and effort into the Chan films than they would some of the other franchises, like the later kind of the Moto ones, which were interesting. And it was nice to have Peter Lorre doing this serious character. And, you know, I got the Mission Moto films, they're fun. But it's not on the same level, you know, when you think about, like, the way that the movies are done. That's not a knock against Mr. Moto, which is a great film, but they don't compete with the Chan films. They really don't. It's not a... If you're a student of film, you know that it's just a different level that these films are done on. First up, and these are great ones, is Charlie Chan in London right here, set, and as we see it as Raymond Milland in this one here. There we go, Raymond Milland, as it was called back then. There's a special featurette, The Legacy of Charlie Chan. We'll open it up and look at it. I love the art and the inside covers for these. They're fantastic. Next up, we have Charlie Chan in Paris. Again, another fantastic cover. This one has a In Search of Charlie Chan featurette. It's pretty cool. And of course, Go Eiffel Tower there, Charlie Chan in Paris. I love the fact that the outside cover is not the same as the inside cover. The inside disc art. It's always pretty cool when they do that. This one here has the real Charlie Chan, and it's, of course, Warner Roland and Charlie Chan in Egypt. Pat Patterson, obviously not the Pat Patterson from wrestling, but, you know. And again, we have, like, different like, interior art, which I really, really enjoy. And it says here, starring Rita Cancino. And Rita Cancino, if you're not familiar with, is actually Rita Hayworth. So it's really cool to have, you know, these had like stellar casts in them, obviously. The Chan films always had amazing casts and amazing actors in them. This one is probably the most interesting feature of all, and I'll talk about that in a second. This one is, as of course, Charlie Chan in Shanghai. Again, there's a pagoda there. It's the interior art. So we have like Irene Hervey. We've got Russell Hicks in this. Keeley, of course, was in all these. But this has a Aaron Treese, and what that is, it's the back in the day they would make a film for the English-speaking audience, and at night what they would do is they would get the basically it usually be the Spanish crew, and they would make a Spanish version. That's why if you've got the Dracula set, you realize that there is a Dracula. There's the 1930s Dracula movie with Bela Lugosi, and afterwards you'll see that there's a Spanish version of Dracula with a completely different cast. Well, the original Charlie Chan film called Charlie Chan Carries On is unfortunately completely lost. All negatives of that are gone. However, the Spanish version with a completely different cast on the same set, Aaron Terrace, is still available, and it's right here. So that's pretty freaking cool. So let's open up the second one. As like said before, I've already reviewed the second movies, the movies themselves, but I don't think I've ever really gotten to the features, so we're going to look at them. I love the Charlie Chan films. You've got some great sets here, some great direction, great character development within the films, and he just really threw himself into these roles. First off, we have Charlie Chan at the opera, and of course that is Boris Karloff, and it's got Charlie Chan's lucky director, H. Bruce Humberstone, who was a fantastic director. This one has a great cast. Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff is amazing in this film, truly amazing. Again, I love the fact that the art is different from the exterior art. You don't see that enough nowadays. Often you see like the discs are going to look exactly the same. This is my personal favorite, Charlie Chan at the Olympics. Of course, Alan Lane is in that one. And just an amazing film. So well done. If you haven't seen any Charlie Chan ones and you want to see one, then definitely check out this one. This one here is actually very similar to the exterior art first time, so still best Charlie Chan film that I've seen. And the featurette is Lane Tom Jr., The Adventures of Charlie Chan Jr. So the kid. Of course, you got a restoration comparisons on these. Next up is Charlie Chan at the circus, and maybe now I'll be able to find out who the actor was whose name I could not remember. And J. Carrol Naish, of course, fantastic character actor J. Carrol Naish, who would later go on to play Charlie Chan in the New Adventures of Charlie Chan TV series. Actually has a very important role in this film here, and that is actually, I think, J. Carrol Naish right there. So interesting to see that. And we're back again to having some kind of cool, like, different artwork here, which I like. Featurette is Charlie Chan at the movies, so interesting. I've watched all the featurettes on these sets. And this one here is Charlie Chan at the racetrack, which was a fun one. Honourable, of course, Charlie Chan's in this one. Then we have Gavin Muir, Thomas Beck is in this one here as well. And it's got Number One Son, The Life of Keeloo, which is actually a really good featurette, so I really recommend checking out the featurette on this one here. Great set. And now we have Volume 3. Most Honourable Volume 3. I'm going to try to do like the Japanese accent or any other such stuff, or the movie Japanese accent, you know what I mean? Back then, of course, Japanese actors were rarely used to play these characters. So, of course, Honourable was from Sweden, but he had the look for the film. So, and he had the character impact too. Okay, this one is some. Wow. Okay, Charlie Chan, the Black Camel. As you can see, we've got Bela Lugosi on here, looking very suave, and this is a great one. We got Bela Lugosi on it. And this one here, God, we have Dwight Fry, Just some amazing character actors in this stuff. We have a commentary on this one as well by film critic Ken Hennick and film historian John Cork. Charlie Chan's chance, a recreation of a lost Chan film, which would be really interesting. Check that out. I wasn't aware that it was on here, so that's really interesting. A stills gallery and restoration comparisons as always. So I'm really interested in this. This one for the longest time was extremely hard to get, and it's really great to see this one and see it in a great setup. Next one we have is Charlie Chan on Broadway, and they seem to have like put more featurettes on this one here. I guess like to they knew this was the last of the Warner Rowan ones. They want to get some of the great stuff out here. And again, we have like an amazing cast. John Stone, who directed this one? Was it Humberstone? No. Okay, Eugene Ford directed this one. World of Charlie Chan featurette. We've got Chanograms, aphorisms of Chan, and of course the Restoration Gallery. And I love that. And this the art, palace art. Did not show the art on the black camel, which I'm guessing would be I just like the way it's done. Great features. I gotta say, the third one really knocks it in the park feature-wise. They all have like really interesting features, and they're not. A lot of them aren't like long. The longest one is they've got like a 45 to 50 minute feature on the fourth Chan fourth or fifth Chan set, but which one is this? Oh, I should leave that one for last. So here we have Charlie Chan's Secret, and this one here, of course, again, commentary by film critic Charlie Chan and the Rise of Modern Detective feature. I cannot wait to see that. Dr. Henry Lee, the modern day Charlie Chan. Man, just some great features I was not even aware were on these sets. Amazing stuff, amazing disc art. Really love the way that these are done. Just so well put together. If these are at your Costco and you've been passing them up, really don't pass them up. They're amazing sets and definitely deserve to be checked out. This is the only flipper disc. I'm not a big fan of flipper discs, but there's a reason this one's a flipper actually. And we have this is Charlie Chan at Monte Carlo. And one of these here actually has what was one of the earlier ones? One of them had Raymond in it. And with this here we have side one, as of course the movie, and Charlie Chan is missing, the last days of Warner Roland. So that's going to be a very interesting featurette since basically Warner Roland, well, if you don't know the story of Warner Roland, get the set and check it out. It's really interesting. We have the, of course, Stills Gallery, and of course Warner Roland is Charlie Chan Advertising Gallery, which should be very interesting. And side two of this is really cool. This is actually behind that curtain. A film done in 1929 that doesn't have Warner Roland as Chan, but of course the unfortunately Japanese characters at that point were not leads. So Charlie Chan is in this movie, but as a minor character. And it's a cool, like, apparently it's a cool little detective one done in the early talkies. And Chan comes in like maybe 20 minutes like left in the film that we meet an actually Asian actor playing the role of Charlie Chan, which is probably the reason, sadly, that the role wasn't a lead role that it should have been. But Charlie Chan at Monte Carlo, amazing stuff. I'm really proud of this one. Great. This, I gotta say, all these sets are fantastic, but I had no idea that there was so much on the third set. So here I go. Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. So if you've not seen any Charlie Chan, or you went out and you picked up Mr. Moto because Peter Lorre was in it and you thought it was the same thing, it's not. It's very different. Both are fantastic, and they both do amazing jobs. And later on, you would see that Mr. Moto was lucky enough to work with some. They were lucky enough to basically work on some of the same directors and actors. which helped to bring better quality to the Mr. Moto films. But check out Charlie Chan. If they're at your store, $9.89 in Canada here, so I'm guessing it's even less in the United States. Just great sets, amazing stuff. You will not regret 1 second getting these. These are all incredible sets, and I cannot believe that they were there. All 5 of them were there, and I already had the other 2 in great condition. I had the 3rd one that was in bad condition, so I was glad to re-pick that up, and just so excited to see it. And have a fantastic day. I'm gonna go and get something to eat. I'm starving, and maybe I'll have some tea. So I guess it is time for tea. Most honorable tea. Told you, I'm definitely not doing the impression.